I played Donnie Azoff, and I'm Jordan's business partner and best friend, and we start this company together, and you know, end up he kind of ends up becoming obsessed with power, and my character ends up becoming more obsessed with the more animalistic things like drugs and women, and sort of falls to a darker side in that way, where Jordan sort of, I think, gets off on being all powerful. I think Leo's the best actor I've ever worked with. He obviously is like probably one of the most famous actors in the world for a reason. But I didn't know, we became really good friends. He's someone I really respect so much. He's taught me so much, and I knew he'd be an amazing actor. I didn't know how close we would become, and I just respect and appreciate him on every possible level. I think he's just insanely talented. To act with him brings you up 50,000 times, and he just knows how to make good movies, and why you should make good movies, and has so much advice on my career and things I should be doing. I just respect and appreciate him a lot. I think Marty's made lots of movies that have been crime movies, and sort of is really good at showing all different sides and human sides to maybe a criminal subculture, or people that are often overlooked. He can kind of really go into the minutia of why they are who they are, and show you different sides of them. And I think it's interesting for him to make sort of a white collar crime movie, and kind of go inside the mind of white collar crime, and kind of expose, like, oh, these guys are as awful as any other kind of criminals, and just because they're wealthier and more and white, doesn't make them any better than any other kind of criminal. And I think we're really exposing a lot of the ugliness of these guys, but Marty has a way of exposing the ugliness of criminal life in a kind of almost enticing kind of way. I think my big thing about the movie is it's what happens when you're given too much, what happens when rules aren't placed on you, and money can really, in your mind, buy you freedom to do whatever you want and treat people however you want. It's not right. So there is a definite fun to showing that. But when you're living it, and when we're really getting down to it, it's not right. When you're the one playing him, I saw myself having so much fun at times, playing this guy, and I felt guilty afterwards on the nights when I was having fun, treating people awfully, and this guy doesn't treat people well. The character doesn't treat people well, and doesn't care about other people. He's a consumer. In every sense of the word, he consumes money and power and things and drugs and women, and he's like an animal. He doesn't care who dies along the way, who gets hurt along the way. And it's interesting playing someone who thinks like that. I've never had to do that. To play this person, you have to sort of turn a blind eye to their behavior. Not only turn a blind eye to it, but justify that you're okay with yourself doing these things. And that, to me, was the challenge of it. Was doing these awful things, and kind of going, yeah, okay, it's a normal day, and not judging yourself. And then you get home and you're like, oh my God, what did I do? I spoke to that person so awfully, and that I would often find a lot of guilt after, on the weekends or after work.